Hi, my name is TJ. My dad died of overdose on January 1st, 2011, and my mom is a recovering addict. God helped my mom, and now together we are here to help you. Now let's talk recovery. Here's your host, my mom, Susan Sexton Wood.
Hi, and welcome to Let's Talk Recovery. I'm your host, Susan Sexton Wood. We have two parents that are joining us tonight. One is Lisa Myers, and the other one is Terri Bogue. They're going to share their journey with their child that has been touched also by addiction. We want to first welcome Pete and Christen Mercer from the Mercer Band, and they're going to be singing Sweet Perfume for us.
You are holy, righteous, awesome, glorious you are. Yes, you are. You are holy, righteous, awesome, glorious you are. Yes, you are. You are holy, righteous, awesome, glorious you are. Yes, you are. You are holy, righteous, awesome, glorious you are. Yes, you are. You are, yes, you are. Jesus, you are holy, righteous, awesome, glorious you are. Yes, you are. I want to pour out my love on you like sweet perfume. Jesus, I want to pour out my love on you like sweet perfume, my King. I want to pour out my love on you like sweet perfume, Jesus. Pour out my love on you like sweet perfume, my King. You are holy, righteous, awesome, glorious you are. Yes, you are. Jesus, you are holy, righteous, awesome, glorious you are. Yes, you are. You are holy, righteous, awesome, glorious you are. Yes, you are. And you are holy, righteous, awesome, glorious you are. Yes, you are. Jesus, you are holy, righteous, awesome, glorious you are. Yes, you are. Jesus, you are holy, righteous, awesome, glorious you are. Yes, you are. I want to pour out my love on you like sweet perfume, Jesus. on you like sweet perfume, my King. 'Cause I wanna pour my love on you. I wanna pour my love on you, Jesus. On you, Jesus. I wanna pour my love on you. I wanna pour my love on you, Jesus. On you, Jesus. 'Cause I wanna pour my love on you. I wanna pour my love on you, Jesus. On you, Jesus. 'Cause I wanna pour my love on you. I wanna pour my love on you, Jesus. On you, Jesus. So I wanna pour out my love on you like sweet perfume, Jesus. I wanna pour out my love on you like sweet perfume, my King.
Hi, and welcome back to Let's Talk Recovery. I am your host, Susan Sexton Wood. We are going to speak to a couple mothers today about their journey in addiction with their child. Our first guest is Lisa Myer. We're going to talk to Lisa about what has been happening in her life with addiction. How are you doing, Lisa?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. So do you want to share a little bit of just your history with what you've been through as a parent and what you've learned?
Well, on January 27th of 2016, my son, 13 days after the birth of his son, was arrested and put in jail. And he spent 5 days in jail. They released him on his own. Went to a meeting either that night, I believe it was the same night that he got out of jail, met you. And he's been in recovery now for over a year and a half.
You have an exciting day coming up, right?
Yes, he's getting ready to get married on June 24th. I think it's going to happen. There's a lot of days I didn't.
Yeah.
I've told him several times that I was planning his funeral when I should have been planning weddings and the birth of his children, and by the grace of God, I'm getting to do that.
Yeah,
So,
planning a wedding.
Yep.
So what kind of things as a mother did you take a stand and start doing to better understand addiction, to not enable but to motivate? Share with the audience some of the things that you did.
My biggest help was coming to talk to you and telling me how I needed to deal with him, because I was his mother. I should have fixed this, and you helped me to realize it's not my job to fix it, it's his. Mm-hmm. But as a parent, that's a hard thing to swallow and accept, because like I said, you're a mom, you're supposed to fix everything. I didn't get him out of jail this last time. He had to face his own consequences. I've become stronger because of meetings for myself and meeting other mothers and family members that's been through it. And we share, I don't know if you want to call it tips or tips on what we do to
Stay sane.
Yeah, stay sane. And this lady here's been a godsend to me. She's pretty awesome.
We want to welcome Terri. So you want to share with us just the things that you've learned as a mother and maybe how you and Lisa you've bonded over this?
I've learned a lot. I think in the beginning, like Lisa said, and most all of us mothers go through the same things. Sometimes you feel like it's only your child, or you don't know how to handle it, or you're trying to handle it alone. And through the camaraderie that we've gained by attending meetings and getting to know you. We've become better parents, learning more how to deal with our children, because it's like Lisa said, you think you're mom, you've got to fix it. And in my initial part of learning what my son's struggle was just, I'm a doer and I'm a fixer. So that was really tough for me to not be able to fix it. And I was probably as consumed with trying to fix him as he was with his battle consuming him. And it took me a long time, but I finally have found a place now where I have a peace with it, that I've learned that the anger and the frustration didn't get me anywhere, and the love and compassion has gotten me a lot farther. So I don't get up every day angry. I don't get up every day consumed with trying to fix him. You've taught me a lot about just the fact that we have to just stand and trust God and give him all that we can and be supportive and encouraging, but yet not be their easy place to stay in their addiction. And without people like Lisa and other mothers that I've met in the meetings, I don't know what we would do without each other. You know, you have taught us how much how important it is and how much it matters to not do this alone, because they can't do it alone. They can't do it alone. We can't either.
Right.
You know, as a mom, we can't do it alone. And just like, you know, my relationship with you, it started out as you trying to pull me back off my cliff that I felt like I was falling off of, and now we're friends. You're my friend.
Now you're trying to pull me off the cliff.
No, I'm trying to pull you off the cliff. Because, you know, when one struggle stops, it's like the enemy doesn't want to stop there. He wants to throw another one at you to show you that you don't have this, you know. But when you recognize what that is, it makes you've got fighting power when you recognize what it is. And I'm thankful that I have God in my life, because if I didn't have that, I don't know how I would deal with this. I think, you know, you feel like you can just pound it into him and preach it into him, but you really learn you have to just love it into him. And that's a process to get there. It's a process.
Right. There's one thing that I say to parents to try to help you guys understand just how you can't fix a problem that someone else has to deal with. And I just tell you guys that it is not your problem. It is not your fault. And you can't fix us. and we have to work on ourselves. If we're not working on ourselves, then we're definitely not going to change, because we have to change from the inside out. And until we start working on us, nothing that anybody does is going to make that big of an impact until we start working on ourselves. But to not enable and to let them know that you're going to take a stand and you're going to work on your own recovery, and you're going to fight for them, but in a different way, it makes them start to see. Lisa, with your son, when you started backing away a little bit and not trying to control it, is that when you started to see the bigger changes in him, when he really had to take responsibility for himself?
Oh, yeah. I don't know how to word this. I couldn't force it on him, and I thought I could. And until he was ready, everything that I'd done wasn't working. So I just stepped back, say a little prayer, and it all works out eventually. I mean, it's not been easy. He's been in recovery for 1.5 years, and we've had a couple stumbling points, but I did not act like I did before. I let him take responsibility for it, and I let him plan out his recovery instead of me saying, okay, you're going to do this, this, and this. You're not allowed to have a phone. You're not allowed to do this. You're not. I wanted to contain him. I wanted to put him in a little bubble, and I didn't want to let him out. And that didn't work that way, because as soon as he had a little bit of recovery time and I could let my guard down, it was back to where we started from. And this time I put a lot more faith in him, I think, too, because I know who he is. I know what he wants, and this isn't what he wanted. And I knew he had goals, and he had goals, not my goals, if that makes sense. So I just sat back. He needs me. He comes to me, and it's worked out a lot better.
Yeah. And the trust of conversation, and if he comes and tells you that he's struggled, then you don't really get mad and aggressive with him. It's more about what can we do.
Yeah, where do we need to go? What do you need from me? But yeah, you can't holler it out of him.
And it just stresses you out.
Yeah, yeah.
So what kind of things does your area do for recovery? I know the parents in that area are just a big resource. You guys have come together. You don't just support one group, but you're there for all of the groups. Whether it's a parent that needs something or a recovering addict, you guys come together and let them know where they need to go.
Yeah, we've got like a little chain. If we don't know it, we know who we can call, and if they don't know it, we can find them. I think we're very blessed in our community. I mean, we've got meetings every night that's available to them. Like I said, if one of us doesn't know something, we know who we can get a hold of that will find it out. We try to get the community involved as much as we can. We're getting ready to have an International Overdose Awareness Day that we're planning, and get the community involved, because you can't be quiet about it. It's not going to go away. And I think the more that you talk about it, the better you come together to try to find solutions. And I think our little town's doing a pretty amazing job of it.
Yeah, I know in the different counties we serve, I can say that looking at the Winchester area, there's more communication. There's still a little judgment there, but there's not as much judgment because it is being talked about. I know we can struggle as a recovering addict when people want to continue to stereotype us and let us know just what they think of us. That can really deter us from moving forward in our recovery. So with you and Terri, you're really advocate mothers.
Yeah, I haven't been quiet for a long time, and with me being so open with it, it's not like for me not to have a text from somebody or somebody from work where I work come up and ask me what they need to do, or do I have any advice. Or we've had some situations at where I work that we've had 4 people in the last 3 months that's had to be taken out because of drugs, and had the human resource come out to talk to me about maybe getting Narcan in there. So you can't be quiet about it. You're not going to get anywhere if you be quiet. So.
Right. Well, maybe with just to continue to pray. Prayer is definitely a huge part of things when we don't know exactly what to do. Praying kind of calms us down too.
Yeah, and he has a good way of showing me at work. I think that's how I had a lot of good ideas come while I'm sitting there at work. So you just got to listen for him.
So Terri, share with us just some more things that go on in the community. I know that you get a lot of calls, whether during the day or at night, and so there's something else developing in that area.
There is. My husband and I are both proactive, just like what Lisa said. I remember when, this first happened to my family, and I would have never, ever thought it would have ever been my family that would have dealt with anything so hard and hurtful and life-changing. But when it did, I remember a mother saying that had lost her son. And she said that she wasn't going to be quiet. And I never forgot her saying that. Because we live in a small community, everybody knows you. And we are business owners. So, in the beginning, I can remember thinking, I had to protect my son because I thought, around the next corner, he'll get this figured out, and we won't have to have that stigma. on him. And so that didn't happen. And then you think you try to protect your business because you have business in a small community. You try to protect your other children because you don't want them to be judged, because siblings do get looked at, even though they aren't part of that. So it was this just kind of this hovering that you do to protect everybody. And then I realized one day that, when you try to hide what Satan tries to do, you give him more opportunity to work. So I'm like Lisa. We are as vocal as we can be. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not embarrassed by it. And I was in the beginning. I was embarrassed. I was ashamed. I was angry. All of those emotions. I'm not there now. And in our community, because we're involved in the meetings, and my husband and I usually lead your peer support group meeting on Thursday nights, and we're all out there in the trenches. And because of that, people that struggle know they can call us, and they have. 9:30 at night, or 11 o'clock at night, or 1:30 in the morning. You know, we've been there, and we just drop and go do it, because if they didn't call you just to talk to you, they call you because they need you. And sometimes you just don't know what to do, and maybe you can't change the situation, but just being there to support them. It's not always the strugglers. A lot of times and maybe even more times, it's the families. You know, Lisa and I have called each other, and
I just called her last night.
She
had
did.
to pull me back in.
And I
had a
said, I
situation
listened to
come
her
up.
struggle, and I said, okay, I'm going to pull you back in off the cliff. So we chit-chatted, and there's a lot of that, because there's times you're strong, and there's times that you struggle. So all of that works for each other. And I think for me, it's been such a blessing, and it's made me stronger, because when I can't always be the one to help my child or reach my child, God says, give what you need. My son needs help, and he needs someone in his path to reach him. So by being able to help others, whether it be someone that's struggling or just a family member, it's life-changing. I mean, it's exhilarating, because it just keeps you with hope. It keeps you with hope, you know. And sometimes, you know, when Clint was sharing that he had someone that he knew that had relapsed, and he was struggling with that, everybody's on board, whether it be text message or phone calls. We're all there. If you need something, call us. We text them and lift them up and encourage them. And everybody needs that, you know. Everybody needs it. And I'm thankful that I'm able to be a part of it. And I guess inside, I'm thankful that I'm not afraid of it. You know, it doesn't dominate me anymore, because as a parent, early in the stages of my son's addiction, I was as consumed with his problem as he was with his struggle.
You become addicted to their addiction.
Right.
And you lose your life. And it's like, you know, you taught me I have to find a plan of recovery for me, because if we don't, as parents, we can get sicker than our child, and you're no help to anyone. So it's been great.
So if both of you could share with somebody that may be watching, whether it's the addict or the parents of addicts, just a loved one of an addict, and they're struggling on what to do, they don't know what to do, what could you say to them to help them also reach out for help, and maybe connect with other mothers to help them also try to fight this?
I think the biggest thing is just what you said, reach out. Because it's hard. You know, initially you feel embarrassed, and it's like you're airing your dirty laundry, you know, but there's hope, and trust me, we're strong women, and we can help. You know, we can connect parents and children with you, with other resources, with the meetings. You know, the meetings are they're huge, because it isn't just about going to the meeting per se. When you go there, you develop relationships, and you become like family, you know, and we are. I mean, in our community, we've got a lot of resources now, and we didn't have a year ago. You know, there's Vivitrol is there now, and we've learned where we can send people for inpatient, for detox. There's resources now The meetings are there now, so they don't have to stay hidden and isolated, you know. And if someone were to come to me, I've got that information now. So I know that I can help them. And if I couldn't, I know who I could get a hold of that could. So I would encourage them to just reach out. That's the start. That's just where you have to start. And everything else will work itself out.
What about you, Lisa? If somebody's watching, what could you say to them from your own experience?
Just what she said, basically. I mean, reach out and find somebody and keep reaching until you do find somebody. I mean, we've been struggling with 12 years of his addiction, and the very first meeting I went to, there was 2 people there, and that was me and the other woman. And we're getting there. Just reach out and there'll be somebody there to grab a hold.
We want to thank Lisa and Terri for taking the time to be on the show and sharing with you just the hope that they have today. We ask that you keep just the still suffering addict in your prayers. If you are a still suffering addict, we continuously pray for you. If you need some help and you would like to find help, we encourage you to call us. If you're a mother or a loved one of an addict that you just don't know what to do and you would like some more information, if you get a hold of us, I can lead you to parents and get a hold of Terri and Lisa. They are more than welcome to help you understand more about addiction and how you can take care of yourself so your loved one's addiction doesn't also take you down. I want to share with you a poem that is called Wonderful. How wonderful life is since I am clean. How wonderful my heart feels to finally be free. How wonderful the stars that light my way. How wonderful the smile feels on my face. How wonderful this world is, now I see. All of these things God has truly given to me. I stand here today, I sit here today, heroin-free. And so God continues to allow me to have a purpose through Him. We continue to write, we continue to speak, we continue to have peer-to-peer counseling, and we continue to offer the events. Everything is free of charge, and we just encourage you, if you're struggling and you need help, to reach out and to grab onto the help that we have been able to offer. We want to thank Glory Bound for being our supporter to do this show, and we just thank you for being a part of the audience, and want to continue to just ask you to reach out for help. Have a blessed night.